I heard from Noam at the Comedy Cellar. Gave you a great compliment. He goes, Daryl Hammond, SNL.
Hell yeah.
He goes, Daryl Hammond would work his impressions for like weeks to try to get them down. He'd work them. He'd go up at the cellar. He'd work them out. He'd be tweaking things, he goes, Godfrey would hear somebody once and do a better impression than Daryl Hammond.
That's a gift, man.
If you don't even work it feels like.
I can't, and I got rejected by SNL 3 times.
Says a lot about more about SNL than it does you.
I remember my first audition at SNL.
Yeah, why did you never get SNL, man? I'm trying to understand
and
that.
What's funny is Daryl Hammond ended up telling me why.
Ooh.
Years later.
What was the reason?
Well, when I first did it, it was me, Tracy Morgan, Kevin James. It was a bunch of Jimmy Fallon. It was all of us.
There's talent.
And we're at the comic strip. And they was like, you need 4 characters and 4 impersonations.
Yep.
So I did some characters and shit. I did impersonations. Then I added an extra impersonation just to top that bitch. I did Johnny Carson because I'm a black dude doing Carson. I was like, wow, did not know that. Good stuff. I had a standing ovation my first audition. I'm coming from Chicago. Mm-hmm. I grew up watching Eddie Murphy. I'm thinking, I might get this shit. I got a standing ovation, bro. Didn't even make it to the second round.
Wow.
What happened?
They ended up picking Tracy. I didn't make it to the second round. And everybody's like...
Wow. So they weren't going for impressions then?
No. They told me what I needed to do. They gave you the instructions.
Yeah, but that's the same for everything. Maybe it was a casting thing because Tracy, they're going for character, right? Tracy's always playing Tracy.
Well, right.
But I just don't understand even after that.
I was the one new black at a time.
Yeah.
What is this rule you speak of?
It probably was. Only
what is going on over here?
You speak of for the past 100 years.
What is all of this? You'll take what we give you.
Is you ain't my baby. Baby,
okay, second
please
time.
Don't let me down. Okay. I'm singing Tom and Jerry. So years later, I'm doing this table read with Colin Quinn.
Yeah.
It's me, him, Horatio Sands, Tracy Morgan's there. It's like at the studio, and Colin needed a favor from me.
Yeah.
And I was like, he goes, I need you to read some of these characters. I know you can do these characters. I was like, all right. He's like, play a Dominican, Russian, boom, boom. So I did all the accents. Boom, I'm just doing my shit. I'm just helping him out.
Yeah.
Because Adam Sandler is supposed to produce this film he wrote. And then I see Marcy Klein. I didn't know who she was. Marcy Klein, Calvin Klein's daughter, she was the person that got everybody into SNL.
Gotcha.
Wow.
It was Marcy Klein.
Yeah.
So I didn't know who the fuck this lady was. I was just sitting there reading, and this lady, blonde lady's like, who are you? Who are you? I was like, yeah, Godfrey, I'm just here reading. She goes, I need your information. And I'm like, who the fuck is this lady?
Yeah.
She goes, that's fucking Marcy Klein. That's Marcy Klein. She gets people in she's the casting for SNL. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh. She goes, the way you're transitioning out of these accents, she's like, I need your information. I was like, okay. I was with William Morris at the time. And I said, okay, fuck it. And then I gave him information, never got in return, nothing back. Nothing back. And I was like, okay, this is not for me. Mm-hmm. And then there was a guy named T-Shawn Shannon. He was a writer for SNL. He used to be a seller guy. And he was a writer for SNL. And he was like trying to get me to audition again. I go, dude, I've been rejected. They don't fuck with me. I was like, I'm not doing it. Then Jamie Masada, from Laugh Factory, he calls me. And he goes, Jamie Masada owns the Laugh Factory in L.A. He owns a bunch of Laugh Factories. But he goes, buddy, he's from Persia. He's a Persian Jewish cat that has the worst accent. He's been there in America 50 years, and his accent's still fucked up. Yeah. He's like, buddy, you have to come audition for SNL. Buddy, I need you to audition. I fly you out to L.A., buddy. You can do it. I know you can do it. You have to, buddy. You have to. I said, Jamie, I'm not doing it. I've already been rejected. Fuck all that shit. That's when they gave it to Finesse Mitchell that year. I didn't audition. Yeah. So Daryl Hammond comes up to me and say, Daryl doesn't talk to a lot of people.
Yeah.
He's always to himself. But he always talked to me. He goes, Godfrey, I've been wanting to tell you this shit for a fucking while. I said, what's up? He goes, I was there at your audition that night you got that standing ovation. Nobody could follow that after that. You decimated the whole place. I said, he goes, but I knew you weren't going to get it. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, I knew you weren't going to get that shit. They didn't want to see that Eddie Murphy shit again.
Oh.
What does that mean?
He kept it 100 with me.
Like they didn't want somebody to have that type of success again?
They didn't want
The show is the star. The show is the star, not
He told me this.
the
He goes like this.
characters within
I'm
the
telling
show.
you as a white man who's been on the show a long time.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And I didn't ask him to tell me this shit.
Yeah.
This is at the bar at the cellar. He goes, I've always been wanting to tell you that. I'm sure you always wanted closure on that. I say, yeah, man. I've always wondered. I just knew. I said, I knew anytime. Even
Explain what you mean by that for people.
He said,
But explain what he meant by that.
he said you would just
yeah.
outshine. It would be an outshining type of thing, and they're not into that. Because Eddie Murphy literally.
I mean, he's a lightning bolt, bro. He was the greatest.
But at the time, it was like a different producer, Dick Ebersol. And I think SNL was in like third place. And then when Eddie got there, it went straight to number one.
Yeah.
And then Eddie was the only cast member that hosted while he was on the show.
I mean, think about that.
He was the only one.
Imagine hosting the show you're already on.
You're already on, and
You're
he
that
hosted
famous.
That's respect. That's respect. And
because Eddie was that cold.
Yeah,
you know.
The
and
best.
SNL should understand that that's part of the legend of SNL. The fact that they churn out so many superstars. I mean, everybody's not Eddie,
but this is what Daryl told me.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, but I had closure. I was like, so he goes, there's so many levels to this. He just wanted to tell me that. There's people above Lauren Michael, too. I said, oh, yeah. And he was just breaking it down to me. And I go, he's been on the show for damn 15 years. He told that shit to me.
But you can live with that.
At least there was, but I already knew that wasn't my thing. It wasn't going to happen. So, yeah.